Morning, folks. This is Didier from Pikcio. We're Sunday, and I'm in beautiful Paris. And this is time for weekly update. So this week, Gonzague went with a team of BNP to present in Portugal our solution, the portability of KYC, the onboarding of new customer, etc., to a full flash of retailers in Portugal, and it looks like that will end up with a POC with the major retailer in Portugal that probably has 60% of the market. So very significant progress there, and a great example of our partnership abroad with BNP. Talking about BNP, we're still finishing the POC with BNP Wealth Management. That will end up in a deployment starting in September of a full deployment of a subset of that solution, which is a secure messaging application based on the PikcioChain. And of course, in that secure messaging, there is all the KYC documents. Last but not least, with BNP, we also had a very strategic meeting beginning of the week with quite a few big exec at BNP, and the decision was made to deploy what we pilot and test with BNP early on all over BNP in France this time. So that's a major step for us, of course. That means it's a strong validation for the technology, because we're still going to go through a few rounds of test and security, etc. But it's now to get that in France, which is of course their major market, will be significant. It will start in the fall 2018 and will take all year 2019 as well. So that's brilliant for our relationship with our major partner BNP. We also did finalize the minority. So we took a minority stake in a company in the US called Future. I would suggest you go and see their website, futurefuel.io. It's a fantastic team, fantastic project to tackle the student debt repayment issues. It's more than that. It's a huge challenge in the US, and they come up with a great business model. So far, it's centralized system, so they're going to move on the PikcioChain starting in the fall as well. So we took a minority stake for them. It's interesting to see that their major client is First Data, and First Data is, as you know, the huge payment processor company, and they have a lot of employees in abroad, not just in the US. So these employees will be the data of these employees are under the regulation of GDPR, and that's the reason, one of the reasons why we were able to propose the PikcioChain to Future Fuel. So that's a great step. We're very pleased, and we'll talk quite a lot more about that later on. Which also let me introduce Pikcio Global Capital, which was a project we were working on since quite a bit. It's almost finalized, but that's going to carry our specific investment in companies that we think will one day or should join the PikcioChain environment, and where we think that the team has a fantastic potential. So again, that's an investment fund that we're creating right now. We receive more and more requests or proposal of introduction from you folks, from the community, and I want to thank you for that. That means we have a strong bunch of you that supports us and understand what we're doing and why, and how we are quite different from others, and want us to be introduced to people they know or companies they work with or could work with, etc. So this is fantastic. Please keep doing it. We'll follow up on each of these initiatives, of course. We really appreciate that, and that will again strengthen the Pikcio, not just the Pikcio community, but the Pikcio user base and PikcioChain user base, and that will reinforce us as a community. So thank you for that. As you know, testnet is now available, and we're going to launch next week an invitation program, so you will be able to download and install a Pikcio node, and so test the API that's embedded into the node. So more on that through our Telegram channel next week, but this coming week. But it's going to be hopefully you like it, and please come back to us with all your remarks and suggestions. Regarding next week, actually flying in a few hours to Montpellier and to join the Pikcio services. That means the R&D team there, where we're having also the Pikcio Academy, which is where we onboard new people. And actually we have 18 new people coming in June, July, and we're going to have almost 10 more in August, September. So we're making a very big on-site onboarding 3 days, where these new team members will know better about Pikcio, the technology, but also our strategy, etc. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We're growing so fast, thanks to you and your support. And that's I'm looking forward to meet all these folks. And then they will be distributed all over. Some will go back to Belgium, some in Belgrade, some in Paris, etc. So we are as distributed, as you know, as our technology. After Montpellier, I'll come back for a few meetings here in Paris and then fly back to Japan, where we're going to have 2 weeks of the Plug and Play program. And I will join Bruno, who's already there, and Eric. So these two are working the Japanese openings for us. So more about that when I will be in Japan. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.